It's been 84 years since actress Hattie McDaniel made history by becoming the first black actor to ever win an Oscar. Her legacy continues, and you remember her from Gone with the Wind. Her life has inspired a new book written by Rashonda Tate, the woman we love, the queen of Sugar Hill. Rashonda is here tonight. Rashonda, you've done over 50 books, and this is your latest one. What made you pick Hattie McDaniel?
I have always loved her, but I can't say always. So when I first saw her in Gone with the Wind with my grandmother when I was a little girl, I was repulsed. I didn't like the way she was acting. I didn't like the fact that she was a maid. And my grandmother said, but I'm a maid. You know, why are you so ashamed of her? And so my grandmother pointed out then that she was doing what she was allowed to do. She has a famous quote, "I'd rather play a maid for $700 than be a maid for $7. And we look at her through our 21st century lens and we become disgusted when we see the Gone with the Winds and the mammy, the way she acts. But that's all she was allowed to do at that time.
And she excelled at it.
She
won
excelled
an Oscar
at
for
it. Yes, and so she was the first black person to win an Oscar, period. But she wasn't even allowed in the ceremony, the Oscar ceremony. The producer of Gone with the Wind had to fight to get her to be allowed in the room, and she sat at the very back of the room.
Wow.
And when she won. And it was so far back that the music ran out by the time she made it up front.
That is horrible.
Yes, you know,
but that's reality.
That's the
back
reality.
Then.
But she had a hard time because white people didn't like her because they felt like she was too sassy as Mammy. Black people didn't like her because they didn't like her playing what they call stereotypical characters.
And imagine having people hate you on both ends and you have no home to come to.
And that's what she did. And she just wanted to work, but she found herself trying to walk this fine line, and the NAACP waged an all-out war against her. So I learned so much doing this. I was able to incorporate my journalism side and then my novelist side, and it's a perfect merging of both worlds.
And so what will we find out in the book called The Queen of Sugar Hill?
So much about Hattie McDaniel. One, she's behind restrictive covenants, lifting those. That is where you can't live in certain neighborhoods unless you're of European blood. That used to actually be a law. And Hattie McDaniel took it and fought, and her case spurred other cases that went to the Supreme Court. So she's the reason that we can live anywhere we want to. There's so much I learned about her, and a lot of stuff on the internet is erroneous. So I've been deep in research for 3 years.
What do you think when you look at the internet and you look up Hattie McDaniel? What sticks out as wrong information to you that's maybe offensive, appalling? There
are a lot of things that down to they say she has a husband named George Langford. She didn't have a husband named. That's just a lie to perpetuate it. There's also the fact that she was the reason a lot of the N-word was left out of Gone with the Wind. People don't know that. It's so much that people don't know that I was able to discover, and that I'm happy to shine a new light on. And I really hope people will look at her in a new way when they read the book, and you know, not so much hate with the Gone with the Wind. It's time to stop being ashamed of Mammy.
And you threw me off with that one, but I understand what you're saying. So you are meeting and greeting your fans all around the country. Where can they meet you and greet you with this latest book, Rashonda?
I will be in Houston on February 1st at the historic El Dorado Ballroom. I'll be in conversation with another author, Victoria Christopher Murray. And then I'm doing a Black History event in Missouri City, and I am going all over the country. I'm so excited, ready to hit the road and share the word about the book.
That is great, and always good to see you, and congratulations on your continued success. For many of you who don't know, Rashonda was a reporter here at Fox, but she was always writing books in between reports.
Always.
And we're so proud of you. Thank you for joining us. And thank you all for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight.